This housing estate in West Dublin is typical of the new developments on the city's outskirts. Built originally for native Dubliners, the recent rise in immigration means that now up to 80% of these houses are occupied by culchies. Tonight we ask, is Dublin facing a flood of rednecks?
We're all over the job because there's likes of them coming into jobs and they're working for pennies.
They're not here a week and they're driving around in fancy cars, and then they're driving back down the bog, pick up their mates and come back up and take the rest of the big shots.
No culchies in Dublin. Let's get rid of them.
And we profile some of the shadowy groups who have pledged to end this country invasion by any means necessary. Mick Bhamjee is the leader of the Culchie Control platform.
We have nothing against culchies. It's just that they're different from us. We have different cultures and we need to remain apart. We believe that strict controls on movement between Dublin and the rest of the country are in everybody's interest.
The CCP demands a compulsory ID card for all culchies living in Dublin. They want to introduce border controls around the capital. There'll be an end to housing waiting lists for native Dubliners. And eventually, the repatriation of all culchies from Dublin. Bhamjee rejects any links with the paramilitary Battalion for Unified Dublin, but the groups share a disturbingly similar agenda. I interviewed Dempsey, the leader of Bud, at a secret location on Dublin's north side.
Every day, thousands of people are flooding into this city from the country and are bringing with them their alien traditions, their strange language and their primitive culture.
We're not a racist party. We reject racism, absolutely. You know, we just don't like them because they're from the country. Imagine, if you will, the position of the people of Drumcondra on the All-Ireland semi-final day, when they are literally besieged, locked into their homes and beaten off the streets by hordes of vicious, rampaging culchies who leave a trail of destruction through that little network of streets every year.
The people of Dorset Street are opposed to these displays of culchie triumphalism. The culchies' argument is that this is a traditional route that they have marched down for 100 years. We're not taking that. If they want to march down these streets, they have to ask our permission.
The authorities claim they are trying to stop this flood of bogmen, but it's quite clear the government is deeply infiltrated by culchies and it's doing nothing.
John O'Donoghue, culchie. Noel Dempsey, culchie. Charlie McCreevy, culchie.
We think that ordinary patriotic Dubliners have no choice but to take up arms and protect their borders.
Vigilante attacks on culchies are on the increase. Joseph O'Looney has this report.
For hundreds of years, the River Dargle has formed a natural barrier between Dublin and the rest of the country. But the authorities are helpless in the face of the sheer volume of desperate country folk willing to risk their lives at these secret crossings of the Dargle. Bud vigilante groups patrol the north banks of this river, meting out rough justice to any culchies who try to enter the city illegally. This is Joseph O'Looney for Sampler at the River Dargle in Bray.
Our key demand is a 12-foot high wall, topped with razor wire running the length of the M50.
This will form the basis of a ring of steel around the city, modelled on the Berlin Wall.
I certainly don't think a 12-foot high wall topped with razor wire running the length of the M50 could be called divisive or negative in any way. It's not about creating a barrier.
Armed squads of Bud volunteers will patrol the perimeter, ensuring that no undocumented culchies will get through, making sure that the city is pure and free at last from the mulchi menace.
Will our politicians fight back against this tide of prejudice and hatred? Or are we doomed to live in a future where town and country are separated by a ring of steel? This is Ryan Tubridy for Sampler in Dublin.